Can you talk a little bit about, there's been a whisper campaign, and not just whispering, I mean, some of it's been published, but about your, let's call it a litigious background, and also because one of your lawsuits involved a credit card company, your credit card expenses became public record, and then people started just, some of it was fact-based, but some people are making fun of you because you visited and subscribed to adult website subscriptions and that sort of thing. If you could just address that.
Well, there are two separate issues. First, on the litigious issue with the credit cards. I am a person that if I don't receive services, then I make an issue out of it. And the two issues that are on public record are examples of two cases where I disagree with the credit card companies on services that were provided, and I'm making my stand, and I'll continue to press the issue. Because at least one of them is an open case. I can't talk much about it other than it's an open case. And I feel strongly that I will be vindicated if we ever have a judge look at it. That's all I'm going to say about it. As far as these other issues, I don't know what word you used earlier, lascivious or something like that. I'm not a
that was litigious, but I didn't say lascivious.
I don't know what the other word was that you used, but I'm not
that
a lascivious.
That would be a good parallel.
Yeah, I'm not a lascivious or whatever the word is person. I can tell you that, a lot of this manifested from this African trip where I didn't get the services that I was supposed to have gotten. I did use my credit card over there, and I know that there's at least more than one occasion where things all of a sudden appeared on my credit card that I had to get removed. And I think if you look at January's statement, that this public record, you see that I was trying to get some things taken off my credit card. So,
but some you didn't dispute. I mean, the Access 4M, male dating site type of thing.
These are online services that a lot of people use. They're very similar to not now, but if you look at YouTube or MyFace, they're similar to those types of things. So,
but they're a little more on the meeting people scale of things.
You might say that, but there's nothing what people are saying pornographic or this or that. There's nothing to that. So to me, it's a non-issue. If people want to make fun of me or make caricatures, that's their prerogative to do that.
But it was not pornography subscriptions. I just want to put it to rest because you are not on video saying that people were saying that that one of the line items on your visa bill was a lifetime membership to the master-slave hookup site.
One of those, I'm not sure if it's that one, but one of those or two of those appeared magically after I made some transactions in Africa. I have to go back and take a look at what specifically you're referring to, but a lot of those
a
lot of those sites that have been shown to me are a little bit too racy for me personally.
Yeah.
But I do want to say this, and it's important to say this. We in this city have been subjected to years of a mayor who passes moral judgment on to other individuals and other groups. And personally, I think that's inappropriate. Whether or not I subscribe or don't subscribe to racy websites, I think it's a personal issue. And if other people do it, that's fine. I would say that an individual's private life and personal life should be kept private and personal. And I'll protect the rights of others and protect their right to privacy. I think that we need to go from a city that is concerned about what other people say we should do and concerned about what rules and moral obligations other people say we should have, and we should go from that to a more progressive city where people are not concerned about these types of things as much. And I frankly think that our current mayor has made divisive comments, has made moral judgments upon people and groups that we shouldn't have. So getting back to this issue about me, people can say what they want to say. They can pass moral judgment on me if they want to on on whatever they infer from seeing in these public records. Doesn't matter to me.
You don't seem to be that in fact, you told me you were more bothered by the fact that someone was stealing your signs than all of
Yeah,
this.
we invested time and energy in talking to neighbors up in the Coral Ridge area to get their permission to put signs out. And that cost me money in terms of the amount of time and energy I was putting in to getting these people to allow us to put signs in. That's a pocketbook issue, okay? When people go back after the fact and pull up my signs and put someone else's signs in their place, that bothers me because that's something that directly is tied to my finances, what I'm paying out for staff, what I'm paying out for signs. That's an issue.
But this other stuff doesn't really...
People can think and say whatever they want. Doesn't bother me. It's a distraction, and I don't like discussing it personally, but it's there. I'm just gonna deal with it and move on.
Yeah.
I think anyone who is in any kind of a leadership role is going to be hit with things like this. Not necessarily in this capacity, but you're going to be hit with challenges, and you need to understand and address these challenges. One other point. When I lived in San Francisco and I was a commissioner and saw how the city was wasting millions of dollars a year in handing out cash to the homeless people out there. And at that time, the majority of them were addicts and alcoholics. And anybody could go into the Department of Human Services and say, I'm homeless, and receive a check for $318 a month. That money was supposed to go towards housing. And I discovered as a commissioner that on the 1st and the 15th of the month, they would line up around a check cashing facility, get their check, go down to the alleyway, and by noon they would have spent it all on drugs or alcohol. And that evening they would be in San Francisco General Hospital being treated for overdose. And if you were going in as a heart attack victim or a car accident, you'd be stretched out on a gurney in the hallway because there wasn't any room to take care of you in the hospital. So I put a proposition together using my own money, and I know that's another question you're going to ask. Using my own money, I wrote my own proposition, Proposition E, which was designed to stop handing out cash and to use that money for providing additional homeless options for these people. And I got vilified. Okay? I was attacked personally. John Burton, the state's highest-ranking Democrat, and the homeless advocacy cartels went after me, tooth and nail, saying I was a rich businessman with ties to criminal activities and couldn't be trusted, and I slept through commission meetings and didn't know this. And just anything they could dig out. All of it untrue. They had posters of me throughout the city, with me with horns and a devil's tail, talking about how evil I was, to take away these poor, homeless people's lives. Okay? I wasn't doing anything of the sort. I thought I was doing a great thing by stopping the enabling that we were providing when we were giving out cash. And I used my own money. It was defeated, 45 to 55, I think. But it was reenacted 2 years later by Gavin Newsom, and now homelessness is down, I think, like 60 or 70%.
You're saying it was passed later?
Yeah. Gavin Newsom took it. My initiative was called SF CARES, San Franciscans for Cash Assistance Reform with Enhanced Services. It took me 2 days to figure that out, SF CARES. And then he turned it around 2 years later and called it CARE, not Cash. But it was basically my initiative, which he dusted off, changed a few words, and resubmitted it, and it passed, and it helped him to become mayor.
It's interesting.
And I've used my own money on that, and I look back on that now, I don't regret that a bit that I did that.
Well, it's interesting you told us that, because earlier, when you were talking about the budget and all that, and all the other prior to that, I kept thinking, I can't see you in San Francisco. It doesn't seem the San Francisco type.
Yeah, well, I look back on it now, and I don't necessarily disagree with you. I lived there for 20 years, and when I came down here in 1998, I was transformed. I didn't want to live in San Francisco anymore.